Oh, I got you. To me, it's just, I'm still working 8 o'clock this morning. To me, the day hasn't gone anywhere. So, hey, I want to see who's on this call. Does Ray Lopez happen to be on this call? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to get Ray later when he comes on. He's going to be doing our State of the Region, so we'll get him afterwards. So, all right.
George,
Do we have Neil? Do we have Neil here, Ashley? Oh, Mike, where are you? There he
Yes,
is. There he
Georgia,
is,
you're
Mike.
looking for me, right?
Yes. So first of all,
Good to see
welcome
you.
everybody to our call. Today is our State of the Region. So, we stay on for a little bit longer and we have a lot of fun information to share with you. But I wanted to bring in Mike. He's the director of sales for NEO, which is new estate only, and he's going to explain that to you. And some of you may know that we've utilized them in the past, and I think some agents are still doing it, where we have their a link to their program. So Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about why you're here? Hey Ray, I just saw you. What Neil? Mike, hold on for 1 second. Ray, we just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday.
Woo! Thank you.
And I know all these text messages, and I texted you the other day, and all these things, but we just want to say happy birthday. We appreciate everything you do. Does anybody else have a birthday today that we didn't notice? All right. Well, I seen all these text messages, and Ray's probably going like, "Why isn't she saying anything?" It's because I wanted to say it in person, Ray. I wanted to say it in person. Now I can text.
Well,
all
thank
right,
you.
Mike from NEO, New Estate Only. Do you want to tell us all about your opportunities for new home construction?
Yes, I'm more than ready. Ray, happy birthday from my side as well, even though we don't know each other, but now we get to. Nice to see all of you guys. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you so much for the opportunity to having me on here and to talk to all of you lovely people. Yes, so I'm gonna, if I'm able to share my screen, yes, I am. That's perfect. I'm gonna show you guys a super quick presentation, but I'm gonna preface everything I'm gonna talk about here, and this will be quick, with two quick important things I want to mention. Which the first one is that NEO, our platform, we're the largest new construction platform and the most detailed one as well for both Florida and Texas. Obviously, today, full focus on Florida. And the second thing is that the relationship with Keller Williams, which is overall, not just including Georgia, the relationship with you and your region and the people here in Florida, but overall, over all states and also internationally, our biggest account. So KW and the partnership and the relationships that we've built are super dear to me, which is why I really wanted to make sure I come on here and put this opportunity in front of all you guys. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what our platform is, what it could provide to you and your agents. And then I hope that a lot of you will take the opportunity to talk to me one-on-one and that we can figure out how we can bring this benefit to your agents, because it's a huge one that can completely change the way that you guys operate and that they sell. So NEO, New Estate Only, that's our platform. As you can see here by the Reach logos that we're displaying, that is one little piece of credibility and one achievement that I want to show off a bit. We've had the honor of being part of NAR's Reach program 2 years back to back, which I don't know if any other company in the history of the program has had that happen. For those that don't know it, it's a program where Reach NAR each year picks the 8 most promising technologies and technology companies, and they invest into them through their venture capital fund, Second Century Ventures. So we've had this happen twice. NAR has invested personally into NEO 2 times, and they are presenting us and helping us grow as the new construction tool that everyone should be aware of us. So that being said, as I'm sure all of you know, 30% of the residential market are new construction homes, and there is a huge lack of a proper tool for agents and for brokerages and offices and all that are involved in the industry to properly access these homes and to sell them more easily to their clients and to just simplify the entire process of promoting and selling new construction. And that's the gap that we chose to fill, and that's why we created NEO. We are basically the MLS for new construction, where you can find as close to 100% as we can get possibly of the new construction homes, both in Florida and Texas. And we're growing super rapidly and now also expanding through the rest of the US. Basically, Neo does the hard and the time-consuming work by removing all these extra steps that agents usually dread or are afraid of, or that may even prevent them from getting into the segment of new construction, which has a lot of benefits like great commissions, incentives, benefits for the buyers. But there are extra things like all the research they need to do, all the different builder websites they need to go to, gathering all the materials, right? Dropboxes, PDFs, all these things, and then repackaging that to share with the client can take up a huge amount of an agent's day and of their work capacity. So that's all the things that we remove and solve for them. We put all the information in one single place so that the realtors can focus on doing their business and on their clients. Here's a brief overview of the exact things that we provide to you. And again, I would love if I get to talk to a lot of you in person and show you how that works in more detail. But we have an iframe that implements and integrates fully with each individual agent's website, but also with your brokerage or office website, where you can directly share all those listings with clients and also maintain 100% of the control over the leads. That's important. We never redirect anything. And there is a standalone landing page that offers the same features and functionality, 24/7 updated inventory, branded to you and your agents, only contact information that is ever seen, and everything in multiple languages, English, Spanish, and Portuguese, and we're adding 5 more shortly. Here again, quick overview of what makes our platform unique. Again, you retain the full control over the leads. I know that's always a big concern with any type of platform or tool, but we never redirect any clients away from the things that you or your agents are sharing. We provide you with extra global networking and business opportunities, one-click sharing of any listing through social media in 1 second, instant branded PDF brochures and downloadable materials that the platform will automatically generate for you and the agents, so you never have to generate anything manually again. And also access to that global client group because it's multilingual, because you can share borderless without geo-blocking. We have the statistics that our platform has 3 times higher client and buyer engagement than, for example, a normal MLS listing. Statistic is that on the MLS listing, a buyer spends around 50 seconds, on Neo over 3.5 minutes. And we are adding crypto payment support and a ton of other features that would take too long to cover. And then lastly, I also want to extend a bit on all those relationships we've built within the Keller Williams world and universe and franchise that I'm so fond of. So here in Florida, here's just a couple of names of the people that we're working with, offices that are utilizing us, level 5 leaders, Keller Williams Reserve in Palm Beaches, Keller Williams at the Parks, International Lifestyle, Island Life, and Suncoast on the West Coast. Premier Properties, beautiful Miami team down in Miami in the luxury segment, and in Texas now as well. I'm super happy that we're growing there as well. We've just added Keller Williams Heritage as another big partnership, and are working on many other of the largest market centers over there. And then internationally as well, which is another useful thing for like cross referring and doing referral business within the KW franchise using our platform perhaps for new construction. We've onboarded Keller Williams Peru. We're currently onboarding Keller Williams Brazil, and there is between 10 and 20 international regions that have expressed interest and that I'm still in ongoing conversations with about them also utilizing our platform to access the new construction in the US.
Hey, Mike, I was just
Yeah. Go ahead, Georgia.
I was just talking to Scott Leroy because I know what we did was originally we set this up that Scott Leroy was going to put that iframe on all the sites, and he said he is. But maybe he can only do it on a certain one. So if somebody wants, that's why I said to you before, it's just getting confusing. So if somebody wants to work with you and have these on their sites for their agents, how would they get a hold of you? And then they can work through Scott Leroy and Scott Leroy can add it.
Yes, to be honest, the process with Scott Leroy is also a work in progress from our end, because our CEO either has just had a meeting with him or is about to have one, because that's one of the things I want to look at improving, if there is a way for us together to simplify that process more. But I would cover that in the one-on-ones because it depends. I don't know if everyone here is doing their websites through Scott Leroy or through another means as
Well,
well.
it's not their wet. Yeah, it's guys. Because everybody through Command has a site, Mike.
Yeah.
And what we did was when Scott Leroy does a lot of the back end stuff for the majority of the market centers in our region. So when when anybody joins, they get this on their Keller Williams site, but not everybody uses their Keller Williams site. Some
Okay.
people have it, and
Gotcha.
then it becomes a different
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
So everybody, what I'm saying is kind of needs to work with Mike in addition to Scott, because we can only do so much with Scott. And if an agent has a separate site, then you need to get with Neo and they need to kind of work with you and Scott to share with you how an agent would put it on their website.
I would say, for the sake of simplicity, guys, any of you that see any value in this, and any of you that do want to provide your agents the access to that MLS of pre-construction and make sure they access those missing 33% of the market, just reach out to me directly and we'll look at your specific case and what's best for your office and for your agents, because there is different ways. We can also pre-create and provide only the landing pages if the website thing you feel it's too complicated or not the right approach, or we can do both. So I would say anyone that sees value, contact me directly. You have my contact here on screen, my email, my phone, and you can also scan this QR code. And I'm also going to go ahead, I hope that's okay, and just share my
so Delia, let's make
Calendly.
sure that you're putting this in the recap. Okay.
Yes, please put it in there. And here in a second, I'm going to go and also paste my Calendly link in the chat. So anyone who wants to book a one-on-one directly with me. And again, on top of, the installation and those tools that we can provide to you that Georgia mentioned, I'm big on always providing the necessary education and knowledge support. So anyone that talks to me one-on-one, we should also and will, if you want to figure out how we can set up some webinars, some trainings, all those things that go along with that will also maximize the benefit that your agents can get out of the platform.
To my knowledge, there's no cost for this right now, right, Mike?
Yes, due to that relationship that we've built, I would be open to providing this to all of you at no cost, free of charge, through a services agreement, or we would look at the way that we want to enter that agreement. We can customize that too. But yes, and this is a lot of value that I'm offering as well. So the retail price is, just to put it into perspective, an individual agent, it would be $9.99 per month for the entire state. So I'm offering to give you $120 value for every single one of your agents, and again, through our cooperation and the relationship that we've built.
All right, very good. So I know you're continuing to work with Scott, and then I would just, because so many agents have their own business, it was just really difficult for us to take care of that from our side. So if each market center would get in touch with you, I think it's a great value add for no additional cost to be able to provide new construction. So I would encourage you guys to get in touch with Mike, and they're really easy to work with and make it as cooperative as possible to be able to help the agent. So thank you, Mike.
Yes, thank you, Georgia. Again, we provide you all the things. We have our marketing team. We set up the webinars. We provide you materials. So really, all you need to do is to look at it with me. We need to align on what we want to do and give me the go.
And you can get on a Zoom. Are you here in Florida? Aren't you?
No, unfortunately, not at the moment. No,
you're not. But the other guy was. But anyway,
yes. But we can. Our CEO is
just
in Florida,
zoom in like you did with us.
Yeah, we can zoom in, or if something in person is required, we do have leadership, other executives of the company in Florida. So
okay, very good, awesome. Thank you,
guys.
Bye-bye. All right. So Daniela, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, hold on. Let me share my screen, because we have a fun thing that's going to be happening with Canva, and we want to be able to show this to you. So let me get the PowerPoint up there, Daniela. Well, first, before we do that, Ashley did a really good job. Well, Abby did a really good job on this PowerPoint today, and so she always does a really good job. And so we want to share some exciting news with us. Any big wins, any mega agents joining, any new leadership hired? Who do we have that we can talk about? Anything going on out there that you guys want to share with us? Big wins, megas. You heard everybody heard the news about anywhere. And here's what I'm going to share with you about that is that I think Jason, first of all, if you were on the growth call, did a great job. If you weren't on the growth call, go back and listen to that because both he and Chris did an amazing job. And kind of like going back and talking about other mergers and different things that have happened in the past. And guys, here's the thing: it's business as usual. Don't let this be a distraction. But when I say business as usual, don't let it be a distraction, but be a disruptor. So, it's time for us to build relationships with, anybody from anywhere. That would be Coldwell Banker, ERA, Century 21. I think it included Sotheby's. Build relationships. Let's not go after it like, oh, I heard your company's being sold. Do you want to meet? This is relationship building, kind of like the way that they talked about it. But here's the thing you need to understand. It's like, we need to provide the values to the indies and the smaller companies and other agents as well, because you have to think about this. Other brands could be concerned about this as well, because it doesn't mean that Compass, who's buying anywhere, would not go after an indie or somebody. So think about everybody else that this could be a challenge to, and let's get in relationship with everybody so they know the values and what we have to provide, because I still think we are the best solution for people that are business minded, that want to have a team and want to build a business of selling real estate, and creating a business of selling real estate. We still have the best training. You know what? They're not going to be able to compete with us on that level. And so don't let this get in your mind. Now is the time that we go disrupt. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments, anything you want to say about this?
I just wanted to
Don't let
say, Coldwell Banker, the agents just got back from their international Gen Blue conference. So to wake
Yeah.
up this morning and find out that Anywhere was sold has got to sting. So if you
Yeah.
guys have got any CBs in your marketplace, this is definitely a good time to start hitting them
Yeah,
up.
you came from Coldwell Banker, right, Daniel?
I did, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, how do you think they're going to feel about being bought by another company, not even knowing anything about it? And by the way,
not
guys,
knowing, I think,
this is not going to happen until next year. So, it's the whole transition is not going to happen until next year. So there's a lot of unsettledness going to be happen right away. Go ahead, Daniel. I'm sorry.
No, it's the not knowing. I think having
Yeah.
just gotten back after spending, quite a bit of money to travel to Vegas for their conference, and then finding out when they get home and waking up Monday morning to find out that it was sold, and not having anything said at Gen Blue had to really sting
Yeah.
for them as agents.
Yeah.
So
Very
I
good.
think it'll be a good opportunity to pick up some of them for sure.
Wiki, your thoughts?
Well, I think that when we're having these conversations, whether they're with agents or somebody that's crossed our paths from these other companies, we should come from curiosity, because like when Gary Keller went into partnership with Strategic, we had all kinds of stuff. Oh gosh, what's going on with your company now? You must suck, all the things. And I think that what Daniel said is a good point, that we have to remember that when we're talking to folks, come from curiosity and ask them what they know and what they don't know.
Right.
Because if you start telling people, oh, now's the time to come to us because you just had this big fallout, you don't know that it's a fallout. Come
No.
from curiosity.
Right. 100%. It's about building the relationship right now, Wiki. It's not about going out and recruiting people, right? Right. Liliana?
So what I wanted to piggyback on Wiki here is that we cannot miss the message also that if big companies like Century 21 and Coldwell Banker are actually looking into merging with another big fish in the pond, this is a huge opportunity for us to talk to indies, because if the big fish are thinking of this, the indies absolutely 100% are thinking of this as well.
Yeah, they're getting nervous. They're getting nervous because you got to remember, guys, we're still the #1 real estate company, right? And so, but not everybody is. And so these other smaller companies, I was just showing the OPs today, and I can show it to you, but 60%, and I think Damien asked me this question a while back. 60% of the realtors are with an independent, Liliana. 60%. that means 40% of them are with us. I've got some statistics. If we have time at the end of the call today, I'll show it to you. But I want to use our next call to be able to show you some of this information and how you need to know what your competition is as we move forward into our fourth quarter. But I'll send some of this out to you, and if I get time, I'll show it to you briefly.
Yeah,
but yes, you're 100% right, Liliana.
And another thing too, and I know that this may not be the popular opinion, but when these companies all get together, they will probably kick us out of number one in one fell swoop. They'll take market share, they take agent share, and the narrative out there is going to be very much against KW. So how are we preparing for that today, right? What's our story? Are we telling our story enough? So that we can say things like my MCA was saying this morning. It took all these companies to get together to probably kick KW out of the number one spot in agent count and market share. So we need to get very strategic about these things as well.
Well, we don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
There's
and they're all
200,000
different-
agents in all of them
yeah, but
together.
they're all different brands, and they've already
Yeah.
been a conglomerate of many different brokerages in the past. There's been, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they could have already shared that story because it's many different brands that they've owned before
Yeah.
Compass got involved.
I think we just need to stay focused on what we need to do and go grow and know what our values are and what our individual market centers do and build relationships with which, if we're doing what we need to do, we should be building these relationships with these agents anyway. Right? Omar.
We can call you back when it's your turn.
Brandy, me and her thinking the same exact way, because what I was thinking is exactly what she said. But and I agree with you as well. I think, and I also agree with what Chris said earlier on the previous call that, like in reality today, under one banner, we still are number one. We have the most agents, and together, like Brandy said, all 7 of them combined had more agents than us already. I think there's going to be a lot of uncertainty over the next year and a half. And if we are coming from curiosity, then we should, be able to take that curiosity and lead that to appointments. And once we get people face to face and see what the value we bring to them, I expect this next year and a half to see a big growth in Keller Williams agents, like nationwide. So.
Yeah, I think
That's my 2 cents on
they're
it.
going to have a lot of uncertainty, like you said, Omar. I mean, I
Mhm.
think like starting today, I would be contacting every agent that you have a relationship or getting into a relationship with anyone within those brands, because I think you're going to see a lot of people that they don't want to stick around to find out what's going to happen with their, split or whatever, or technology. People want certainty.
I agree. And I tell you what, I don't think we have a year. I think it's going to be a year and a half of uncertainty, but I think the newness of this news, this opportunity is like a time sensitive opportunity. So
Right.
for myself and everyone else here, I would say we might have a week, so use this week and, hone in on those agents. And I know this was already before in the works, but we already had a couple of the top Sotheby's agents in our area looking to switch over this month anyway. It's not official just yet, but I mean, I'm sure this, this uncertainty in this news kind of solidifies their situation, their decision to take their business and move into Keller Williams. So
Yeah.
And guys, this is just more, and I got you, Tio. This is just more reason to be constantly in relationship with your people. So you're not calling them and saying, hey, this is so-and-so over. I was just calling because if you're already in that relationship, for those of you that have been in the role for a long time, like Omar, you've been in that area for a long time. So it's not going to be, and I know you're newer to the team leader role, but it was like we were talking to Dayton a little bit earlier today. It's a natural thing when you've been talking to people all along to pick up the phone and call them again. Now, it's not as natural if now you're trying to call them. So this is why we constantly have to be in relationship with our agents at other companies, because when these things happen, you want to be the one that they're thinking about. So if you've not started a relationship, get a relationship started. It's not about recruiting, it's about relationship building. Tio.
No, absolutely. And I agree a lot with what Omar's saying about there is a sense of urgency right now. I went through this a couple of times up north. And we did a couple of things. First of all, this is a great opportunity, especially for someone like me or anybody else new to the role, to establish the relationship, but also to say, listen, I understand what went on. I heard Compass, made a purchase of your parent stock, your parent company. Compass is a great, it's a fine organization. However, if you're open to it, let's have a conversation and find out what your plan B would be if it doesn't work out for your business. How much easier would it be for you to navigate this change if you knew what your plan B was, if you had an exit strategy? So many agents leave their brokers in a fit of emotion without knowing what else is out there and latch on to another one, which creates a cycle of jumping around for a period of time. And we've also, if we were in relationships, said, hey, listen, until you make a decision, we'll allow you to hang your license with us. We've done something like that as long as we're not taking a loss on the onboarding fees. But this is a great opportunity to be that shelter in the midst of the storm for them.
Yes, 100%, 100%. So build the relationship now. But don't go at it inappropriately. Build a relationship. So good advice from everybody. So any Meg is joining, any new leadership hires that we haven't announced? I think don't we have Brandy? Don't we have somebody, a new team leader in Brandon? I don't see Dayton here. He's probably here somewhere.
We do. Is
I'm not sure
Patrick
if he's on the
here?
call.
I'm here. Yep.
Hi, Patrick. How are
guys.
you?
Patrick.
Good. Good. Doing
Patrick,
awesome.
and then we got Kevin. So Patrick, introduce yourself. You're our new team leader out in Brandon.
Yes, I'm Patrick Page. I just joined the Brandon office about 9 days ago. I've moved here from the Washington, D.C. metro area, where I had been broker at Keller Williams Realty in McLean, and then for 10 years, and then team leader for 1 year. So I'm very excited to be here working with Brandy and Dayton.
Yeah, in the Brandon Market Center, working with Brandy and Dayton. Brandy,
Yes, that's
Brandy
correct.
and Brandon. Yeah,
I know
It's a mouthful.
Dayton's there with him too, because I just
Yeah.
talked to him. So they're both
he's
in
here today.
Brandon today. We're in different places. We're trying to divide and conquer, the two of
There
us.
you go. Well, very exciting to have you, and welcome aboard, Patrick. And
Thank
then
you.
Ray, do you have Kevin? Is Kevin on our call?
Good morning. Yeah, I am brand new. This is day number 1 of week number 2. I've been very fortunate to walk right into training opportunities. Last Friday, I got to see Gene Rivers in action, learned a plethora of information. The guy's amazing. And then the Friday before that, before I even came on board, I was able to see Georgia in action. She gave us all a bunch of coaching here in Oviedo. And I just feel real grateful to be a part of the team. I am a native Floridian. I went to Oviedo High School. So for me to have this opportunity in the Oviedo office makes a whole lot of sense. And I'm just real excited to grow with the team. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So we're looking forward to big things, and you guys are joining us at exciting times. So we're excited to have you on board. Awesome. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else I missed? All right. Well, now, Daniela, now let's come up with the big news. Hold on here for a second. Whoops. I don't know why that happened. All right. So there we go. We have a contest for Canva for our Market Center Tech Trainers. So Daniela, tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, so we decided to create a Canva competition for the Market Center Tech Trainers to see who gets the most agents in your Market Center to actually create their Canva account. And then that goes by agent and it goes by percentage. So we have the spreadsheet that we are pulling. And there's a couple of ways that we're pulling this information,
I'm going
and
to
I'll
show
show
it
you
now
how
while you're
to.
talking about it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically what we're doing is we're pulling in all of the numbers every week. We pull the numbers twice a week. So it's going to be on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. and on Fridays at 4 p.m. And what we're doing is adding it to the spreadsheet so we can calculate how many agents are coming in and creating their accounts and how many by percentage. And of course, we have to calculate by percentage because every single market center is different. And so right now we actually have since Friday at 4 p.m., we have Orlando Lake Nona in the lead for agent count of how many agents actually created their account. So congratulations to Lake Nona. And then by percentages, we have,
Hold on, I'm getting it.
okay, we have South Shore. So congratulations. South Shore has 38%. And so with this competition, I'm gonna kind of like explain what is entailed in it. So let me pull up my page here.
Okay,
Okay, so
I'm gonna quit sharing so you can share.
okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
so
She's got, you're gonna show them where that information can be found, right?
That's correct.
And then we
So-
got big awards for the Market Center Tech trainers.
Yes,
We're
that
gonna
is
announce
true.
that in a little bit.
So I'm going to talk about what the competition entails first, and then I'm going to go into what that looks like when it comes to the prizes. So first off, we want to make sure that all of the agents within KW is creating their Canva account. This is definitely a recruiting tool you can recruit to. And we want to make sure that agents know that they can use Canva to build their business and to build their brand. And so this is a perfect way to get the agents to create their account. So it's going to be Market Center Tech trainers, and all Market Centers can participate. If you're in a Market Center that doesn't have a Market Center Tech trainer, the award, if your Market Center wins, will be going to the leadership team. And this will start September 19th all the way through December 19th. And for Market Centers, you have to be in that role between September 19th and December 19th to qualify for the prize. If you end up leaving, if a MCTT ends up leaving that position, then the prize will go to the Market Center. And so how it works is, again, we as the region is going to pull in the reports every week. It's going to be twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. And then we are calculating by the highest number of agents that signed up for Canva, and then by percentages of agents that signed up. So there's going to be 2 winners every month, and the 2 winners is going to be based off of those categories. And the first prize for the monthly prize is going to be a $50 Amazon gift card for every single Market Center that wins in those categories. And then for the end of the year, we're having a grand prize, and it's going to be 2 winners. And that MCTT will win a $250 Amazon gift card. So again, that's based on the category. So highest number of agents and highest percentage overall. That's going to be for the grand prize. And we're going to announce the winners every month. So September winners is going to be announced October 6th. October winners is going to be announced November 3rd. And the November winners is going to be announced December 1st. For the last grand prize, this competition is going to end December 19th, and it will be announced of the winner December 22nd. So I'm going to talk more about this with your MCTTs on our Wednesday call. I definitely think this is going to be very powerful and get a lot more agents to create their account. And I've been playing around with Canva, and if you haven't used Canva, I highly suggest create your account and just start using it. There's so many valuable tools in there. And then one other thing that I do want to show you is, how do you know the Market Center, like the agents in your Market Center who actually created their account? So there is a way we figured out that you can find out on Canva. So right now I'm going to go to my Canva KW account. When you're within your Canva KW account, you're going to see your initials on the bottom. When you click on that, there's a couple of things that you'll see. So first, you're going to see that we're within a team, which is the KW Associates team. And then down here, you'll see this number, this 27,000. It actually went up 1,000 from Friday when I checked. So this is the amount of associates within KW that created their Canva account already. So if we have about 140,000 agents within KW, we still have a long way to go. So I know this section is going to be the longest when it comes to getting your already agents in your Market Center to create their account. But this is why we want to push to make sure that they get that, so that they're getting all of their value, that we're offering. So when you click on this, that's how you're going to access that number. Now, for your market center, what you're going to do is go to your project. So I'm going to click on this project button on the left-hand side. And you're going to see a couple of stuff. So within these folders, first of all, I do want to let you know, all of these folders are being shared by different KW associates, and they're sharing it to everybody. And I am going to have an additional conversation about this just because I want this part to be very important. When you're creating different folders, you want to make sure that you're not sharing it to all KW associates, because then anything that you add into that folder will be shared to everybody within our organization. And I'm pretty sure you don't want that. So when you see these folders, I wouldn't worry too much about seeing all of them or even viewing them. Just don't worry about it. What you should be worrying about is making sure that you see your market center with your market center number in there. So I'm going to use Lakeland, for example, since I'm in that market center currently. So
Daniela, let me say one thing. The reason that
Yes.
you see a lot of things in her on this screen right now is because she's a market center leader. And so she has, just like I do, we have all the market center folders on our site. So a normal person, not somebody that has all of the access to all the market centers, they might only at least see like 5 or 10 folders, right, Daniela?
Yes,
It can
and
vary.
it depends. Yes, it
Right.
depends on the KW associates and
I-
who's sharing what with everybody.
Right, but I don't believe another market center can get another market center's folder unless a market center leader or a staff member shared it with somebody.
That's correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So when you go to this folder section, you're gonna look for your market center, and you should see your MC and then your number on there. So when I click on this, it's gonna have MC and then that market center number on there. What KW added was the logo. So right now you're only gonna have the logo in there unless somebody within your team actually went in and added in extra designs, additional photos and stuff like that. When you're on here, you're going to see a couple of things. So on the right-hand side at the top, you're going to see like different accounts. If you click on that plus sign, this is where you can see who has access to it. First and foremost, Owen is going to be the owner of this folder just because he's with KW. He's the one who's creating all of these folders for every single market center. You will also see some KWRI admin have access to it, which is fine. Now for you, you'll see your market center and then you'll see the amount of members that's within that market center. If you click on that number, you can see all of the different names of people that created their account. And these names can vary. So if some people are associates within your market center, they'll have access to this, and this is automatic. So you don't go in and you add in this person. Once somebody creates their Canva account, they'll automatically be added into their market center folder. You as leaders can go through and search for agents. So let's say you're going down the list to see, okay, this agent, did this agent create their account? You can actually come in here and search for that agent's name to see if they actually did. If they didn't, go ahead and reach out to them and contact them and have them create their account.
Perfect.
So another thing that I do want to clarify before I get out of here is this button up here where it says can edit. Please do not change this because yes, right now it's can edit. Anybody that's within this folder can edit it, meaning they can add in different designs, they can add in different pictures and stuff like that. If you change that to can view or remove, what it's going to do is it's going to change it for everybody. And now you won't have access to it. Everybody else in that market center won't have access to it. And then you're going to have to contact support so that support can give you access. So when it comes to that, don't touch this part of it. Just leave it as it is. And this is just a extra way that you can see who's in your market center. One other thing that I do want to clarify is, some people may ask, why do I need this folder? Like, do I really need to use this folder? Honestly, it's up to you. You can add in different designs, but just remember, because this is a shared folder, everybody will have access to it along with the templates that you put in here. So if you put in a template that you don't want people to edit, they're going to have access to edit it and they're going to edit it to their liking. So then when you go in and you see that it's been edited, you'll know why. So I always recommend if you are going to share anything in here, at least share it so that they can view it. If anybody can view a template, they can copy it, copy that template so that they can have their own version of it. Everything that I just showed you here, I did create a Loom video on that. I'll add the link to the chat, and then this will also be on the recap email. So you all can refer back to any questions that you may have.
Perfect. Awesome. Good job. Market Center Tech Trainers, are you excited about your contest? I want to hear from you. Yeah, Tiffany. Raise your hand.
I just had a quick question about that folder. Should we be uploading our other logos, so like the black, the red, the vector file for them to use, depending on their background, if they would want the white, the red, or the black?
You can, but another option would be just sending it through, like however you send that logo to them and however they have access to it, just have them access it that way. And then what they can do is when they're working on a project, they could upload that logo into the upload folder, name it logo, so that they can go back and research, search for it whenever they need it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. One other thing before we get out of the Canva topic, I do want to let you all know I'm having one more Canva kickoff session. So if your agents still need to create their account, they still have time to. And I'm doing that session on Thursday at 12 p.m. It's going to be 30 minutes. And again, it's just creating their account. I'll add that link into the chat also so that you guys can share that with your agents.
Very good. All right, so let's see who's in the we gave a little bit of information, but let's do this. In the number 3 spot with 35%, we have St. Augustine, woohoo. In the number 2 spot with 36%, we have Orlando South and Anna Brown. And Anna Brown is, that's at Orange Park. I think we're missing the reason it's St. Augustine, I think we're missing a MCTT there. In the number 1 spot with 38%, we have Buff Bishop at South Shore. So congratulations to our percentage winners. Keep it up, Buff, and all of you. And then in the number of associates in the number 3 spot, we have Kayla Morse. She is our newer tech trainer at Jack's Beach. In the number 2 spot with 68, we've got Khalees Long at Orlando Central, one of our newer MCTTs. And in the number 1 spot, Karina Millen at Orlando Lake Nona with 100. So good job, everybody. Let's see. We're going to update this again on Tuesday. And then Daniela, you're going to let all the tech trainer know on Wednesday. And then Delia's going to be promoting this and kind of like doing updates so everybody can see where everybody is on social media. And then on Monday, and then it's going to get on Friday by 4 o'clock. Get your updated get your numbers. You don't have to do anything. You just got to get people signed up. We see if it's been increased. We go in and add and check it out. And then we're going to announce that on our Monday call. And we got about another 12 days or 9 days or something for them to be able to win the month of September, right, Daniela?
That's correct. So if you still need to get your people to sign up, now's your chance.
Good job. Good job. All right, market of the month. And I'm coming up with a recruiting contest as well. So don't be disappointed. We're gonna be coming up with something else because we want to finish the year strong. All right, market of the moment. Birthday boy, Ray Lopez. Ray, how does it feel to be 29 today?
I tell you what, it's fantastic.
Good.
29-ish.
Well, I love being 28, so I'll catch up to you someday.
Fantastic. So Georgia, my question to you is, because when we do this, it's always the third week of the month. The Florida stats actually don't come out till later this week or the following week.
Right.
Do we want to do the numbers for the state the last week going forward, or you want me to just keep going back 2 months back?
Because this is our state of the region. Here's the thing, Ray, maybe we can change it moving forward. Let's just do this. And then if we need to get an update or something, let's just do this. Then we'll figure it out the next time. Okay.
Fantastic. All right. Sounds good. All right. So let's talk about July numbers. Again, what I would say is, every one of you guys as leaders need to know exactly what's going on in your area. Okay. And what I mean by that is the state numbers are great. but your city numbers, because real estate's more of a hyper local thing. For instance, when I'm around teaching in the market centers as the OP, talking about the market, I'm talking about the sales in Greater Orlando. Let's just use that for instance. And our August numbers were down 13% year over year. We only had 2,306 sales. All right. I also know, because I watch the numbers quite a bit, that in a typical August, that means the last 20 years, we actually have been back. And if you go all the way to the end there, Georgia, go back one
I
more
was going to
slide.
say, look, Ray, I've got the numbers here.
I love it. I love it.
These are year-to-date numbers.
To know our numbers locally. I give you the state numbers and what's going on in the state, but more importantly, you need to know what's going on in your city, so then your agents know what's going on in their city. So for instance, because sales are down and inventory's up, we need to know that buyers can get better deals in today's market, and that sellers need to price their properties right. And by showing them the numbers, not just talking about the numbers, it actually gives our agents more validity. And we as agents knowing this and being able to teach our agents this gives them a lot of confidence in getting those price reductions so they can get paid and stay in the business. So Georgia, go back to that last blue slide real quick.
I'm there.
Go all the way to the end, but the second to the end.
Oh, you want me to go this way?
Yep, keep going. Right. One more. Sorry. This one. Okay, so this is what I teach in Orlando. Oop, we'll go back.
Yeah, you're just on a delay. I did it, but you're
Okay.
just on a delay.
So again, each one of us need to know what's going on in our area. Okay, so go back one more, Georgia, to one more to the blue one. All right, see where I boxed the red ones there? Inventory year over year went up. Sales went down. When I'm sitting in front of a seller, I'm showing them how weak the market is right now. Okay, that's the key. I'm showing buyers how much power they have because sales are going down. So again, I'm instilling in our agents, this is what we need to put in front of our people being clients, to help them understand what's going on in the market. Days on market is going up. If closed sales are going down, the best thing about these slides is that we're not having giant drops in value in most of the major metros in the state. So that just means it's nothing like 2008, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, we need to be able to talk about that because agents hear things like, when's the market going to crash? You know, is this a lot like the distressed era of the 2008 market? The answer is no. Yes, sales are soft, but there's deals to be had out there, Georgia. That's the key.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to keep doing business in this market. Okay, so let's go back to the thing. I'm going to move through this pretty quick. Go back to the first slide that will show, right? One more back. Where it's got the bar graph. Okay, so there you go. So this is what's happened. This is what's happened so far this year. We need to know where our business is coming from so we know where to focus our marketing. Okay, when we look at this, what I love about this graph is it shows us when it talks about Gen Z, this tells their age. Talks about younger millennials, older millennials, Gen X, younger boomers, older boomers, silent generation. If you look at who is really making up a lot of our transactions, when I talk about this, I have to give the answer. So Gen X, younger boomers and older boomers are kind of carrying the torch, and some of the older millennials are kind of getting into that great earning potential. But what's great about this sector of people, Georgia, is they're not tied into having to be a first-time home buyer. Okay, they're not being tied into its interest rates quite as much. They have a lot of equity in their house, especially the older boomers and the younger boomers. Their houses are probably paid off. So interest rates aren't dictating if they buy or when they buy. And that's what's great about these slides. So we can show our people so far this year in the first 7 months, this is what's happened in the real estate market in the country. New construction versus existing homes. Next.
You know, Ray, sidebar, when we were talking to our AI guy, when you use this kind of stuff, it'll tell you if you have a house, like what that house, what generation that house would be attracted to.
Correct. Predictive buyers.
Right.
Correct. All right. So when I presented to the OPs the distressed market, we talked about a slowing market last month. So this is realtor.com as of August, these are the slowest markets. And when we talk about slowest markets, we talk about days on market, we talk about price reductions, we talk about new inventory, how many are being pulled off the market. Nashville is number one. Miami, there's Orlando. We got Jacksonville on here. We got Tampa on here. Guys, you can see that Florida, there's a lot of opportunity in Florida right now, just because of we had such a big increase in value that now we're having a leveling of value. Okay. And again, what's nice is everything that we see, prices aren't going down. They go down seasonally, but not due to transaction count, which means it's a very stable market. We're just having a soft transaction go right now. That's all that this means.
So
Right.
basically what this is telling us, when it says slowest market, it's really days on market. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's all the things that indicate days on market, new listings, listings that are expiring, listings that are not getting renewed. So there are people right now that are pulling their houses because they tested the market this spring, Georgia, at a very high price, didn't get it, and they're basically saying, you know what, I don't need to sell right now. I'll try it next year. So there's a bunch of key indicators that are just kind of showing us exactly what's going on in certain cities.
So that impacts an agent doing business, which means they have to have more listings, more buyers, where in the past they might have only been working with one or two buyers. They might need to double that up, right?
Yeah, I always tell agents it's okay to say no to a listing.
Yeah.
If somebody's very unrealistic and they're going to be a problem to work with, I don't want to spend $1,000 to market it unless my goal is to have open houses to get buyers. Because as Gene Rivers always says, having a sign in the yard 3 to 6 months and expire is more damaging to my reputation than getting a new listing and advertising that I got a new listing that doesn't sell.
Yeah.
So I agree. Next. All right, this was another thing that I showed last month to the OPs. This is our MLS as of the end of July. 35% of our MLS, stellar MLS, 100 days, active days on market or greater. 35% of our properties have had price drops. 25 were back on market. That's kind of showing how soft our market is, okay? In Orlando, what I'm learning is a lot softer than a lot of markets around the country. Remember, we were the third slowest market in the country based on Realtor.com's numbers. Realtor Reality, as of the end of July, 71% of realtors didn't have a closing. And so far, as of July, the end of July, 90% of realtors don't have a closing. So there's a lot of realtors out there that need to get in with us and learn how to do real estate. Going back to, there's a lot of realtors with other companies that need a good training base like we have. We have again, Central Florida, what's going on. We talk a lot about what happened in the distressed era of 2009 through 15, how much was going on then. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going to be going on with the distressed market that's going on now. But we had 2,571 expireds, 2,344 canceled, withdrawn, temporarily off the market. Guys, short sales are becoming a thing again. Okay, that's the reality. Last year, I remember Georgia had a short sale guy come in, and we thought a lot about it, and it never really amounted to anything. But I know that Chris McLaughlin and I are talking a lot about what we're seeing in the market, and there's a lot of people right now that are in trouble. And I'm going to give you some shocking facts here in a minute that I'm not really shocked by a lot of things, but when I heard a few different of these numbers, it was just like, wow, that's unbelievable that it's happening in 2025. We all know that consumer debt is 6 times higher than it was in 2008, which was the financial meltdown. Credit cards are at all-time high. Student loans are at all-time high. Student loan defaults are at all-time high. And of course, student loan debt is $1.7 trillion. And again, this is lending to a lot of younger people not buying, which means our first-time home buyers are at an all-time low. at 26% of transactions. And they're typically sitting there at around 30 years old buying houses, and now they're at 38, again, an all-time high. All right, next, Georgia. All right, so a signal of what's coming. This was a great article that I read. Google always talks about what are some key terms that people are Googling right now. Help with mortgage right now. Look at this, guys. All the way since Google was founded in 2004, all the way to 9, back in that 2008-9, when people were really, really in trouble, that's when they were Googling, what do I do? How do I get help with my mortgage? The pandemic, of course, they were looking at how to maybe do a forbearance. And then there we are in 2025, guys. There's a lot of people right now that have a mortgage that may not be able to afford it, and or that are in trouble. They might have too much debt. They might have somebody might have got sick. Somebody might have died. They might be relocating with a VA loan and they put no money down, so they're upside down. So just know that this is what people are searching on Google right now. It is pretty close to the 2008-9 crisis. All right, Georgia, next. All right, let's talk about, this is what was shocking to me, guys. What a lis pendens is, and we call it LPF, lis pendens filing, is when a bank doesn't get paid, the bank's not happy, and the bank, about 120 days later, will file a lis pendens notice, and they're suing the consumer that's not paying on their loan for the title. The bank sues the owner for the title to the property. It actually gets recorded. Once it gets recorded, about 4 or 5 weeks later, they publish that. And that's when a lot of agents start calling these people saying, hey, I hear you need help with your mortgage. A lot of these people aren't happy about it. They're not proud that they're not paying their mortgage. So a lot of people do not answer their phone. Okay, that's just the reality here. In 2008, we had almost 31,000 lis pendens filed, right? This is considered the peak of the financial crisis. As of the end of July of 2025, we had 19,355. If you average that out over a 12-month period, we are pretty darn close to this being the same number, okay? Let's talk about auction sales. Houses that actually went to foreclosure. 2008, 12,110. So far through July, 9,370.
We're almost 2/3 there.
We're here. We're right there. Now, this is what people say. Well, Ray, I don't know if I believe these numbers because we don't see any REOs coming out on the MLS. And the reason being, guys, is they're coming out and hedge funds and banks are making deals and packaging them so they don't come out as bank-owned properties. We call them REOs, okay, real estate-owned properties, because banks don't want to set up a real estate-owned division. They don't want to have to trust it that a realtor is going to be able to take care of it. People break into the houses. Back in the 2009, 10, 11, and 12 era, I was a REO realtor. I closed between 200 and 300 houses back then, every year. And basically, I was a glorified property manager. It was horrible, okay? The reality is nobody wants that, including the bank. There's a lot of cost, right? So they would rather, when it came out on the other side, they can sell it to a hedge fund, get it off their balance sheet, and start lending again. Okay, that's the crazy thing about all this. Now, what I have in yellow there is the true shocking part of this. Of the 19,355, as of the end of July, 9,900 of those 19,355 have 25% equity in the house, and the average or the median price in Florida is 410,000. So Georgia, most of these houses, more than half, have over $100,000 in equity. And if you think about it, 410 is probably a low number. You know, let's use average instead of median. That's probably closer to 500.
Yeah.
So we as leaders need to help our agents be able to get in touch with these folks, because a lot of these folks have equity in their houses, and when it forecloses, they will get zero. So if we can help them sell that with equity, it is not a short sale, it is a real sale. I was just on a ALC meeting, and we were teaching our ALC about how to invest in properties. We as realtors have a license to find deals. If something like this is in front of one of our realtors, we have to be able to speak to this and help the client out. And if helping the client out is matching them up with an investor that can get it sold before the foreclosure date, then that's a win-win for everybody, because the owner of the property keeps their equity, the investor gets a little bit of a deal, our agents get paid, everybody wins, there's no loser. So bank wins, they get their money
So
back.
when I hear this, Ray, I think about how do we teach our agents to pick up the phone, call the people in their database who may or may not be interested in buying a property, rental property, or investing, and just, you know, explain to them, hey, with this market happening right now, there could be people that need to sell their house. They don't want to sell it through short sale, have credit issues, you know, all those types of things. I might be able to bring you some opportunities. If you're not interested, who do you know at work or in the family that might be interested? We just get a limiting belief, like we can't call our database and ask them questions and say, well, who do you know that might be interested? Because I've got properties here that might have, you know, 25% clear equity.
Absolutely.
For you to take over.
So George, I don't know if I told this story a few months ago, but I went to a mastermind earlier this year, and one of the guys that I sat next to, we were talking about how we got into real estate. And when I asked him, he says, well, you know, in 2015, I was a CEO of a small company there in Oviedo, and in January of 2016, my realtor called me up and asked me, you know, he said, Happy New Year. And, you know, just wondering in the 2016 era, if I can help you with any of your real estate goals. And the gentleman, Tom, that was sitting next to me, who wasn't a realtor at the time, said, absolutely. My wife and I were talking about maybe investing in real estate this year. We've had a really good run. We've got some money saved up. So that year he bought 4 houses through a realtor in one of my market centers.
Yeah.
He said his name. I'm like, wow, he's in one of my market centers.
Yeah.
This is the reality. Now the guy's a big agent. He is an investor type agent because he believes in it. And what happens when a client starts buying rental properties or investing, they tell all their friends who are also want to be investors.
Right.
And if we can understand this niche, Georgia, it creates, in baseball, we call it manufacturing runs. This is a great way to manufacture transactions that would have never happened without conversations, like you said.
Right.
So we need to teach our agents how to talk investor speak. And that's one of the reasons that I love that we have Chris McLaughlin in our region.
And the other thing is that use this as a conversation to have with agents at other companies, because they're not being taught this.
Correct. 100%. 100%.
Georgia, just so you know, we scheduled October 14th with Ashley, so she's gonna let everybody know about that time for the North Florida region for us to talk about our short sale training, our short sale program.
All good on our call.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. All right. So I read another article, and it talked about our FHA loans, the new subprime. For all of the newer realtors out there, what a subprime loan is a loan that actually probably should have never been created for a borrower, because they probably didn't have the financial wherewithal to last through any market, or every market is probably a better way. Georgia, you were a lender for a long time. You understand that not everybody should have a loan, right? You have to qualify for a loan.
Right.
And unfortunately with FHA, I love FHA for the right buyer, but FHA has different tolerances. It's a very tolerant loan. So in other words, you can have a credit score of as low as 580, which is a very, very low credit score. You only have to put 3.5% down. Well, right now, of those delinquencies nationwide, 52% of the serious delinquent loans, that means 90 to 100 days late, are 52% are FHA loans, Georgia. So
I don't know if it's the same way that it used to be, but a lot of these loans are assumable.
yeah, well, that's what we talked about today on the ALC. Right. FHA loans allow the borrower to have a higher debt to income ratio. So they have a lot of credit card debt. They have a lot of car loan debt. And FHA still says, Well, I tell you what, we think you can also slide in this house for this amount. So
Right.
again, all of this is leading up to the perfect storm of somebody that might get sick and or get in trouble at work or lose their job. They might not be able to pay because they're already right there at the edge. Okay. So anyway, we need
You
to
know,
understand what's going on.
there's a sidebar to all of this too, because I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes, because I used to do this, sometimes you can buy a house and assume the loan and let the person that was living in the house stay there for a certain amount of money. And so it might be they couldn't afford, they might not have been able to afford the taxes or whatever it was, or they get themselves in debt, but sometimes they can continue to afford a payment, but they can't afford to do the loan and maintain the house and all the crazy things that go with it. So there's all kinds of things that you can think about with this.
Absolutely. All right. So go to next.
Oh, sorry. I'm just listening to you and I'm just sitting here.
So, one of the things my wife last year said, "Hey, Ray, why it seems like there's homeless people everywhere we go on every corner." Okay, so an article came out. In Florida, roughly, we had almost 30,000 individuals that are estimated to be homeless. This includes 6,000 unaccompanied youth. 41, call it 42,000 additional families are considered to be doubled up, which means they're living with other people and or staying in the rent by the day, rent by the week, rent by the month hotels. We hear all of this on TV. Since 2022, families experiencing homelessness surged by 28%. Okay. In Central Florida, those living in cars rose from 42 to 267%. Again, I don't know where they get these numbers from, but this was in a Florida Realtors article. Rent in Florida rose from $1,200 to $1,700 from that 2019 to 2023 timeframe. I'd imagine a lot of that had to do with the COVID uprise in values. 904,000 people renting earn less than 60% of the median income. So if the median income is 100,000, then 60% of those people are under that and spend 40% of their income on housing. This all lends to, last year I had made a mention of 61% of Americans can't deal with a $1,000 life event. Transmission in the car goes out. Their credit cards are maxed out. So they have to make a decision. I need to either fix my car and go to work and provide food for my family, or I need to stop paying my mortgage and or rent. And that's what we're seeing here. And all of this, the last few years, is lending to what we're going through right now. Homelessness, distressed properties. And again, I'm not saying the housing market's going to crash. It's not. As the indicators look at now, we can't say for sure, but what we can do is all of these people that have equity, we can help them. All right, so last slide, Georgia. More homeowners turn to cash out refis. This is us being realtors with financial knowledge to help people. If somebody has $50,000 on revolving credit and they're at a 27, 29% repayment rate, they could actually go ahead and either refi and or do a cash out refi and or do a home equity loan. So in Q2 of this year, in 2025, our equity in our homes hit a record at $17.8 trillion. Homeowners pulled out an average of $94,000 in equity. This new refi raised the rate about 1.5%, and on the average that equated to about $600 more payment than they had before. The average credit score for these folks was right at about 720. And these folks had about 20% or more in equity in their houses and have lived there for 6 months. So guys, this is the thing. I would never tell anybody to give a 3 or 4% interest rate up to pay off their credit cards. But what I would tell them to do and have told them to do is to get a HELOC for, let's just say, 50,000, pay off their revolving credit at 27, 29%. And let's just say that HELOCs aren't great rates. They're like 8 or 9. But would I rather pay 8 or 9% for 50,000? Or would I rather carry that credit card debt at 25, 27, 29%? Georgia, we as realtors, just knowing this, we can help our database so much, but we have to understand the tools that we have. And the more we talk about it, the more comfortable our agents are.
Right.
So anyway, that's the presentation
We
this week.
did that. We did that.
Yep.
And I'm going to be sending this out to everybody. But I know we're short on time, but I want to explain to everybody something and see if this makes sense to you, Ray. These were the amount, like, let's just take a look here. Let's use where you are, Orlando. Okay. There were 43,552 double-sided. In other words, when you see FAR say they sold a house, they say there's 43,552. That's rooftops. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But I believe I have to divide that number in two to find out that there were actually, I want to make sure I did this right, 21,776, because when we look at our report, Ray, we have double-sided. In other words, we have, like when you see the 5,413, we're counting that one address. If we buy it and sell it, we count it twice. Are you with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think I did that correctly?
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, if they're double-sided, you have to divide it in two to say, okay, there's two sides. That would have been 21,776 FAR single-sided trends. Or maybe I need to, I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and figure that out. Anyway, I just wanted to explain. I'm still working on that. All right. I need some help on that. All right, let's go to our month-to-date Slack. So Ray, thank you and have a great birthday. Thanks for everything you do for us. We'll see you Friday. We'll celebrate Friday. All right, guys, 100 as of well, this was like Friday the 19th. 118 gross. Great job. We still got 10 days to go, so I'm really excited about that. And 27 net. This is amazing. Let's just keep that going. Keep that momentum going. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And then we're going to send all this out to you. I just don't want to keep you on the call. That's a speaker form. So Ashley, maybe you can put some of these things in the recap. Our upcoming training. I think, we have the Luxury Exchange with Brady Sandoval. We got our ALC clinic, Train the Trainer, Business Planning Clinic. We'll be marketing that. Our Career Visioning class. And in December, Call the Play, Win the Day with Jason Abrams. So you'll see all that coming out. And then these are some classes from Daniela. Our Intro to AO, Prompt Like a Pro, Command Your Market Center with Canva, How to Move Listings with AI, and then Canva Power Tools. So we've got those classes coming out for you.
Yes,
And
Georgia.
then, of course, yes.
Can I say something about the AI intro to AI class? So that's
Yeah.
going to be for tomorrow. If your agents haven't signed up yet, go ahead and have them sign up. This is a last minute to get everybody to sign up for it. We do have quite a few of you that already did. I'll add the link to the chat if you haven't signed up already.
Okay. And we've sent that out. We'll probably send that out again today, right?
I believe so. Yes.
And Georgia, we might want to I'll get with Ashley. We might want to switch that October 14th date for short sales so we don't compete with Canva. We might want to go on the 15th.
Yeah, Chris, I sent you an email. You probably just haven't seen it yet.
Well, we can.
Okay.
And we can change that one too. So we can change this. We'll figure it out. Okay.
Okay. Very good.
All right, so let's see. We got that, and then what do we got going on here? Oh, so the MREA is now a video podcast. So you want to make sure that you're watching this is officially launched on the YouTube channel. So our first ones was our own David and Zargami. And so there they are right there, Tony and David Zargami. And they talked about how they became #1 on Google. And then today I saw Jonathan Mills, guys, from the Gainesville Market Center. So North Florida is like exploding. And they were the 100th episode that dropped. And I think that would make, I think he's the next one. So that would make Jonathan the 101. So good job. By the way, Jonathan, what was it, Wiki? Jonathan, in 8 weeks, did $20 million or 20 million in volume just by getting a focus, I believe, on some lead generation.
It was something ridiculous like that, but yes, they are pouring all in that direction.
Yeah, so we got to listen to that podcast, and if they can do 20 million in 8 weeks or 4 weeks, Anybody should be able to do that. All right, guys, closed units. Let's see how we're doing here. With 99 units in the number 10 spot, Winter Haven. Good job, Wayne. In the number 9 spot with 100 units, Ocala. In the number 8 spot with 106 units, Sarasota Metro. In the number 7 spot, 109, Venice. In the number 6 spot with 112 units, Orlando Lake Nona. In the number 5 spot with 123 units, Jacksonville Beach. In the number 4 spot with 144 units. Guys, there's still a lot of real estate being sold here. Lakeland.
Woohoo!
In the number 3 spot with 156 units closed, Orlando Central. In the number 2 spot with 164 units sold, Brandon. And in the number 1 spot with 178 units sold, Tallahassee. Good job, everybody. Congratulations, Tally. Good job, Candace and team. All right, let's move on to closed volume with 45 million plus, Claremont. In the number 9 spot with 49 million plus, St. Petersburg. In the number 8 spot with 49.2, Tampa Central. In the 7th spot with 50 million, Orlando Lake Nona. In the number 6 spot with 52 million plus, Lakeland.
Woohoo!
In the number 5 spot with 53.6, Tallahassee. In the number 4 spot with 54.9, Brandon. In the number 3 spot with 70,602,536, Sarasota Metro. In the number 2 spot with 75,090,076, Jacksonville Beach. Ooh, who is our leader? In the number 1 spot with 75,668,055, only by about 600, less than 500,000 or 600,000. Orlando Central. Good job, everybody. All right, let's check out our listings taken. In the number 10 spot, 64 listings, St. Petersburg. In the number 9 spot, 74 listings, Orlando Central. In the number 8 spot with 76 listings, Jacksonville Beach. In the number 7 spot with 77 listings, Brandon. In the number 6 spot with 79 listings, Winter Haven. In the number 5 spot with 80 listings, Lakeland.
Woohoo!
In the number 4 spot with 81 listings, Ocala. And in the number 3 spot, here we go, Tallahassee with 96. Woo! It was 108. Oviedo. Good job. And the number 1 spot with 157, Venice. Venice. Good job, everybody. All right, let's check out our owner's profit with $14,696, Orlando Lake Nona. In the number 9 spot with 19,000, South Shore. In the number 8 spot with 20,000, Lakeland.
Woo!
In the number 7 spot with 21,528, St. John's. Ooh, good job, girls. In the number 6 spot with 25,000, Winter Park. In the number 5 spot with 25,696, Tallahassee. In the number 4 spot with 27,122, St. Petersburg. In the number 3 spot with 29,425, Brandon. In the number 2 spot with 30,691, Jacksonville Beach. Wiki, do you know who's number 1?
Same beat.
Yes, Wiki, you do.
Go Gainesville, baby.
$1,591. Good job, everybody. Ooh, look at that. Look
Little
at
old
that.
Gainesville.
Close.
Way to go.
Very good, guy. Gosh, it was real close. Brandon, Jack's Beach, all like within $1,000 of each other. So good job.
Yay, Chris Coleman.
Way to go, Wiki.
All right. Hold on. I got to get back to what I was doing. All right. Wait, am I going backwards? I'm going backwards. All right. What is this? Is this our total gross? In the number 10 spot with gross 2, Brandon, and that was without Patrick Page, but Patrick Page is our new team leader there. So looking forward to some big numbers from you, Patrick. Inglewood, Heather, Sarasota Lakewood Ranch, we have an opportunity. And Spring Hill, Michael Cortis with our, what we call him MC. And in St. John, Susan Lacer. Good job, everybody. In the number 9 spot with Gross 3, Celebration. We have an opportunity, but actually we have a new team leader starting there October 1st, so good job. Jack Southside, Amanda Trahan, Ocala, Timothy Ray, Orlando Central, Lisa Hill, Orlando North, Ryan, Sarasota Siesta Key, Tio, South Shore, we have an opportunity. St. Petersburg, we got Ryan. And in Venice, we got our new team leader, Omar. So great job, everybody. All right. And TL's our newer team leader as well. All right, let's go here. In the number 8 spot with 4 gross, South Tampa, Lennon. In the number 7 spot with 5 gross, Daytona Beach, Daniel, Greater Manatee, Michael, Jack's Orange Park, Marietta, and Willard Park, Andrew Parrott. In the number 6 spot with 6 gross, Bradenton Manatee, Caroline, Jack's Mandarin, Susan, Lakeland, Damien, and Sarasota Metro, Jamie. In the number 5 spot with 7 gross, New Tampa, Bo, St. Augustine, Russell, and Tampa Central, Dallas. In the number 4 spot with 8 gross, Tallahassee, Candace, and Winter Haven, Wayne. In the number 3 spot, let's see who it is, with 9 gross, Orlando Waterford.
Matty
Orlando
Ice.
Waterford, great job, Matthew. In the number 2 spot with 10 gross, Claremont, Cameron, Jacks Beach, Joe Newton, Orlando South, Carla Finley, and Orlando Southwest, Sean McLeod. Good job. In the number 1 spot with 14 gross, Orlando Lake Nona, Liliana. Good job, everybody.
Woo! Way to go, Liliana. Way to go, Diesel.
There we go. All right, let's look and see it with our net. We start with number 7. So we gotta get down, guys, to where we have 10 people or more getting making this. So in the number 7 spot with 2 net, Shaniva from Greater Manatee and the team, Charlene and the team at Orlando North, Summer and the team at St. Augustine, Stephanie and the team in Tallahassee, and Ryan Williamson and the team in Winter Haven. In the number 6 spot, we have Daytona Beach, Summer, and Sarasota Metro, Kieran with net 3. In the number 5 spot with net 4, Orlando South, Claudia, Orlando Waterford, Jessica, and Lakeland, Katie Willis. And number 4 spot with 5 net, Bradenton Manatee, Lewis, and the executive leadership team. In the number 3 spot with 6 net, woo, good job, Orlando, Lake Nona, Lara, and the team. In number 2 spot with 7 net, Jacksonville Beach, Summer, and the team. And in the number 1 spot with 9 net, Orlando Southwest. Good job to Shara Brown and the executive leadership team. Awesome job, everybody. All right, I think that fills it up. Good call. I think this was a really good call today. We gave a lot of information. And now, guys, here's the thing. Everything that Ray, are you around still? Everything that Ray did are things that you want to bring to your ALC meeting. Who was at my ALC meeting? Marietta, you were at my ALC meeting. How was that different than an ALC meeting you'd seen before?
A lot different. And my ALC thoroughly enjoyed it and got a lot of value.
Did you redo your ALC meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Of course I did. Right away.
And they liked it?
They loved it, and they're excited about next year, and they're excited about next month's ALC meeting. So it was very good. We even had a guest from another market center, and they were excited as well. They're like, "Oh, we got to take this back to our market center." So I was like, "Oh, cool,
awesome, very
so thank
good.
you. It was very good,
very good, guys. Bringing the value. Wayne, did you see a difference? Wayne Weathersby.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So guys, this is when you lead an ALC meeting like that, you're going to bring them value and tools that they can utilize in their business, and then masterminding on just the way that you present the numbers differently. So make sure that you're taking pieces and parts out of the presentation that we provided to you and use these in your team meetings, in your ALC meetings, and in your consulting conversations. And this is the way you grow and take our region to number one. We still have that goal of being number one. So I know we can make that happen. All right, everybody. Thank you for everything you do. We will see you in the region on Monday. Let's go grow, 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 grow. We got 9 days left. 9 days before we end the year, end the month. So let's go grow. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Go Market Center Tech Trainers.